Like it's just expensive to just be alive. It's even getting to the point where like I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive. All of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just everything, every increment of our life costs something.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
It's JEJE Vibe.
People out there in the beautiful planet, in this beautiful world of ours. Welcome to JEJE Vibe. Hope you all are doing amazing today.
We are.
Come my queen with me. Things are happening.
Martin Zagwan.
Martin Sagwan. And at a time like this, it's where you now have to start thinking, what is going on?
This is why I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life, as soon as I wake up, is literally just me putting down a credit card. And it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you going to have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where like, I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive, you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy. And then all of a sudden I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe. But even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
Sugar, flour, bread, those are basic food. Eggs, you can't buy eggs. Even lime, you could have get a 50p lime, now it's £1. Everything is going up. Clothes and things, they're not going up because you don't need clothes, but you need food. Wages doesn't go up. In the COVID time, I put my life on the line to save other people. But yet still, I get no thanks, nothing. My wages doesn't go up. My children can't find food. You used to eat 3 times a day. Now you have to limit it to 1 time a day.
Well, our breaking news this morning, in the last few moments, the energy regulator has...
Nothing new to report. I'm going to finish it off. Nothing new to report. The report is basically that the gas and your electric will be going up. Nothing new. Nothing new to report. I mean, why does the news keep showing this negative information? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's rubbing it in your nose. It's like it's rubbing it in your nose that, you know, the gas and the electric's going up. Why do they keep on putting out all this negativity and making people even more down than they are? Do you know what I mean? It's like we already bloody know that the gas and the electric is gone high, and now you're saying it's going higher. Like, we don't need you to report that, Susanna or Ben, whatever he is. We don't need to hear that, do we? We don't need to hear anymore. What we bloody need you to do is do something about it, you know. Stop speaking more to the bloody government and get them to do something about it. I don't understand why they keep reporting the same old nonsense.
It's almost like somebody's saying, how much more can we screw everybody over? This is not a third world country, and it is an absolute, utter disgrace.
I want to cry when I see it. We're not a third world country. We shouldn't have people working 2-3 jobs and going to a food bank.
And what is winter looking like for you?
I hate to think what it's going to look like. I would like you just to turn the cameraman round. It ain't working in London.
Like, the quality of life for working class people and just people in this country in general has just got so bad.
I have to take you to a food bank tomorrow that's bigger than most little supermarkets, and they've got clothes and food. I mean, that's disgusting.
But I mean, this whole crisis, the latest one, cost of living crisis, It's totally fabricated, could be turned around in an instant.
I think that the Tory government are a shambles. I don't think they give a hoot for the working person.
Me and my housemate are pretty sure we're going to decline our direct debit for our gas and electric, but we'll see how it goes.
Supposedly one of the richest countries in the world. And they should be supporting the average working person in this country, who is not, by the way, lazy, who works very, very hard, and who are in a situation where they can't afford to feed their children.
I don't know how much longer I can stomach living in this fucking country. I literally am just existing right now. I have no fucking motivation to do absolutely anything. Everything seems so fucking pointless. I've literally worked my arse off from the age of fucking 20 to try and actually get somewhere. And what has it fucking got me? I don't have a house, I don't have any kids, I don't have a partner, I don't have fucking anything. This country literally sucks the fucking living life out of you and the living hope out of you like a mosquito. Do you know how fucking hard it is to have every motherfucker around you pretending that everything is fucking okay? It's not okay. It's not going to be okay. It's getting worse, and it's gonna get worse. I'm so tired of these cunts just fucking hoarding all the wealth and then blaming everyone else for not working hard enough. Like, I literally just want to scream into the fucking void. So many people are just like, yeah, well, what can we do about it? What do you mean, what can we fucking do about it? You're just gonna do nothing? You're just gonna do nothing? Are you okay with this? Like, is anybody okay with this? I'm saving up, and I'm getting the fuck out of it. I'm fucking off. I can't do it anymore. I will literally off myself if I fucking stay in this country too much longer. I'm so miserable, and I'm so fucking miserable, and I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done with this bullshit.
And I thought it was the UK that was on its arse. Seems like these Americans are really fucking struggling with the cost of living crisis. Check this video out. Tell me it don't break your heart. How can someone earning $80,000 a year be struggling to live? This is fucked.
And we are literally the brokest we've ever been. Brokest we've ever been.
But I'm making the most money I ever had my entire life. My husband and I, between the two of us, gross, make like over $80,000 a year. And if you told me a few years ago that $80,000 a year was not going to be enough for a family of four.
I make more than what I made back in 2015. But I am still literally living paycheck to paycheck.
I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it.
Financially, I don't understand anymore. I don't understand how I make $34 an hour and I can't function.
The American dream is dead. It is over. Gone and forgotten. Can somebody explain to me in crayon-eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live? And I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys! That should not be our standard! I am so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. Who the fuck can afford that? It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now, but I know so many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it? Why? And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired. I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can point out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it.
So Americans are fed up with the cost of living in America. And if you think I'm playing, check this out.
I went to Target yesterday and bought 2 bottles of hair product, a bottle of shampoo, a box of trash bags, and 1 Halloween decoration. $70 on my Target Red card. That's with my 5% discount. My son's looking at the cart and going, Mom, this was $70. We didn't even get anything. Yeah, I know, kid. And he doesn't even remember a time when you could get a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area of town for $600 a month. Now a 1-bedroom apartment in a mediocre part of town is $2,000 a month. Gas is $5.49 a gallon. It cost me $65 to fill up my tank. Before COVID, my grocery bill per month was $350. Now it's $600 a month, and I buy the exact same amount of groceries. This shit is out of control.
Things I've given up because of the cost of living. I've seen a few videos on TikTok now talking about things people have given up because of the rising cost of living, and I just kind of wanted to speak to that a little bit. You know, there's a ton of things I could list when it comes to the list of things I've given up because of the rising cost of living. But honestly, the thing that matters to me the most, it's not even any of the material things like eating out or being able to get someone else to cut my hair or being able to get new glasses because I have a big old scratch across one of the lenses that I can't afford to get replaced. The biggest thing for me is just the constant feeling and pressure of stressing about finances and how to make ends meet.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially?
I'm glad you asked. And it's not dark just because it's nighttime. Oh no. It's dark because I have no electricity in my crib right now. And no, I'm not joking. I am not joking at all. So, I definitely feel the struggle, you know. Not joking. Oh, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. But I've already done the crying, so I'm at a point of laughing. I make $27 an hour. I make too much to qualify for any rental assistance, electricity assistance. And I never get sick. I think I'm just getting sick because the stress is causing my immune system to deplete. But it's alright. I'm a grown-ass man. I'll get it taken care of. Don't worry.
10 years ago, if someone told me, predicted the future and told me then that I would be making what I'm making now salary-wise, but I would be struggling and barely making it paycheck to paycheck and paying for food for 7 people, I would say, you're crazy. I can't even imagine making that kind of money. 7 mouths? That's a lot. And I know everyone is struggling, and trust me, we are too. Every time my car insurance gets renewed, it goes up in price. So every 6 months it's increasing by quite a bit. I shop around and I can't even find a better rate. Every year, my taxes, my homeowner's insurance go up. My payment increased by $700 last year because of taxes and insurance increasing. That's $700 additional a month because the escrow that was paid out wasn't high enough the year prior. And I haven't even started paying on my student loans yet. That's another $1,000 a month. I know this is sad, but honestly, if I was eligible to file for Chapter 7, I totally would. Just to help alleviate some of the financial stress and burden, because you just feel like you can't get ahead. A few years ago, like what we were making, I could throw money, you know, at credit card debt and things like that. Now with inflation and how much everything's costing, there is no extra money to put anywhere. Like, I don't get how people are surviving. We work very, very hard, and we can't get ahead. I know many can relate to this.
The economy is so bad that companies are downsizing and cutting staff and making one person do the job of 3 and 4 people Companies are pinching pennies, they're lowering wages, they're not giving raises or bonuses. The cost of everything has gone up exponentially. Trying to get an education to get out of your field, to get into another field to make money, isn't working either, because the cost of education has gone up several 100%. This sentiment does not work when there are people who have been in their jobs for years, who have degrees, who have work experience, who have been with a business for like 10, 15 years. They're being let go, and then they can't get a job for more than like $17 an hour, $20 an hour max, which is not a livable wage right now.
This is what I'm struggling with in America right now in my 20s. Why is everything so expensive? Why am I making more money waitressing than I would make using my college degree? I barely have a life. I have 2 days off and I work Wednesday to Sunday, doubling just to pay my bills. At 22 years old, all of my bills are in my name. I have no help. How are y'all affording housing? In Myrtle Beach, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500. Bullshit. How are y'all getting insurance, going to the doctor, getting medicine? And then some of us are trying to be TikTok influencers. Who knows where that's going to get me? Me and my boyfriend are saving, but we barely see each other during the week, and it feels like we're working our asses off for nothing. Do we need to move somewhere for a better job opportunity that we don't know about? Do any of y'all really know what you want to do with your life right now? It is so scary being in America right now.
Every time I think about or trying to move out my parents' house, the cost of living just get higher and higher.
Between the ages of 22 and 28, I would always have this feeling that people who stayed with their parents for too long, it was kind of like a bad look. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, you're kind of too old to be doing that. Shouldn't you like venture out on your own and shit like that? Shouldn't you try to like be your own person? I no longer feel like that, because things are incredibly expensive right now, to the point to where it's almost laughable. I got my first apartment by myself when I was 23 years old. Rent was $595. A little bit of tax and shit, it went up to a little over $600. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. By the time I moved to Columbia, South Carolina, which was 4 years later, my rent was $700. So I transitioned from $700 in Charleston to $700 in Columbia. Everything was good. Stayed in Columbia for about 2 years and then moved back to Charleston. My rent now is $1,400 for this small ass apartment, right? You can't really see it because I got the lights off, but this small ass apartment, like right there, that little, wait, let me see, that little break right there, there's a bedroom on this side of the wall and there's a bathroom on the other side of the wall. That's it. $1,400. I no longer feel the way I felt about people not wanting to move out of their parents' house. My rent is always going up. Car insurance always going up. Cost of everything. Like, eventually we're going to have to start rioting, right? Eventually we're going to have to start doing something to get the attention that this shit cannot continue to happen. Because it seems like everybody in the world is profiting off the services that the American people offer, except the American people. Huh? You get taxed on the money you get taxed when you buy shit with it, you get taxed when you drive to work, you get taxed when you work, you get taxed when you drive home, you get taxed on the food you eat, you get taxed on thinking about taxes, because taxes is something you shouldn't be thinking about, because you should just pay your taxes like a fucking law-abiding American and shut the fuck up about taxes.
We are in a silent depression and the government won't acknowledge what we're doing is because cost of living is way too high and these companies just can't keep up. They are laying everybody off and then rehiring people for like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 less. They're basically resetting their entire structure and, you know, all their entire internal team, because that is what they need to do in order to make sure that the people at the top can still get paid what they've been promised to get paid to run the company. That's what's happening. And people aren't applying for jobs because they're like, wow, like this is so much lower than I would work for. But people that just graduated college and maybe want entry-level jobs, or the ones that are desperate, are going to apply and are going to work there. Everything is pretty messed up, and the government won't acknowledge it, which is super duper.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20, and it's ridiculous. But the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring because nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on what matters the most. Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere. So they're just not spending it. And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own and that they don't need the government to hold their hand. So to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know, but I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
My times. Drop a comment. Let us know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and you're welcome to JEJE Vibe.
We're out of here now.
Catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye now.
See you guys.
It's JEJE Vibe. It's JEJE Vibe. It's JEJE Vibe, vibe. It's JEJE Vibe. We move.